guys, how are we all doing? It's that time of year again. We are back for the weekly predictions and we are starting with the League Cup Round 1 because it kicks off this weekend. I'm joined by Sophie. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you excited for the new season starting?
Very excited, yes.
Yeah, I know. The League Cup's very weird. It's spread out over the next sort of 2 weeks. We've got fixtures coming up this weekend with Bournemouth versus MK Dons and Sheffield Wednesday versus Huddersfield, and then the other fixtures are spread out a week or two after that. So let's get into the predictions. Before we get into today's video, make sure you've dropped it a like. Let's get 100 likes for our first predictions video of the season, and make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Let's start with this weekend's first fixture, Bournemouth versus MK Dons. Now, the League Cup, it's quite hard to predict because no one's going to put out their full strength team for the first round of the League Cup. So if it was both teams going full strength, you'd imagine Bournemouth should run away with this one. But if Bournemouth go fairly weak, there's an opportunity for MK Dons to win this. Now, MK Dons are in League One. They're a decent team. They've got some decent players. They've made some okay transfers. But I still think Bournemouth are going to win overall. And I'm going to go for Bournemouth to win this game 2-1. And look out for a live stream. I'm going to do this one on Saturday.
I'm actually going to agree with you there. I think if they go full strength, I think there's going to be more goals for Bournemouth. But yeah, I've just got a feeling because the season hasn't actually started yet, whether they'll treat it as like a pre-season game or whether they're actually going to go for it. I'm still going to back them to win, so I'm going to say 2-1 Bournemouth, but I think it's going to be an interesting game. Yeah,
it will be an interesting one. We've also got another game this weekend on the Sunday, Sheffield Wednesday taking on Huddersfield Town, a Yorkshire derby. This was obviously an all-championship affair last year. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday have gone down now. It's going to be interesting. There's still not a lot between these. I'm going to imagine that Sheffield Wednesday will be the top end of League One next season and Huddersfield could be down the bottom end of the Championship. So there really isn't a lot between these two, and it's going to be interesting to see fans back at Hillsborough. I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday to cause a mini upset here. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0.
Okay, I'm going to back a draw. I think it's going to be fairly evenly matched. As you said, I predict Huddersfield to finish lower down the end of the Championship table. So I think, yeah, full time it'll be 1-1. But I think if it gets to penalties, then I'm going to back Huddersfield win.
Huddersfield to win on penalties. Now, there is about 40 fixtures or so for the first round of the Cup, so the ones we don't talk about, we will do a prediction for at the end of this video, so go to that if we don't mention your team. One of the games we're going to talk about is Coventry City versus Northampton. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, we've been in the same league a few times before when we were in League One, and Northampton are now in League Two, so there's 2 leagues between us, but once again, because it's the League Cup, I don't think Coventry are going to completely dominate. We're not going to go full strength, and this could be an interesting game. I'm going to go for Coventry to win 2-1, and let's go on a cup run. Come on.
I'm going to be the pessimist here. I don't think we're going to put out a strong team, but I do think we're going to win. So I'm going to back a 1-0 win, but I think we're going to make it hard for ourselves. It's going to look pretty ropey. I think it is going to be a young squad, so it's not going to be the end of the world, but I do think we're going to win. So I'll say 1-0.
1-0 to Coventry. Yeah. Let's go to Derby County versus Salford City. Now, this is a Championship team versus a League Two team, but do you know what? I'm backing Salford to win this 1-0. Now, Derby County still in the midst of some problems through this summer, and I know they're going to be playing in the Championship this year, but they're everyone's favourites to get relegated, aren't they? And Salford City are a League Two team on the rise with the money that the class of '92 are pumping into that club. Who knows, these two could be meeting in League One next season, so I'm going to go for Salford to win this game.
So I'm actually going to back Derby here. I'm going to say 1-0 Derby win, but yeah, I think, yeah, I can see Derby having a bad season just because their transfers at the moment, I don't even know how many fit players they've got now after the recent injury to one of their first team players. And yeah, like you said, Salford, they're a team low down with a lot of money, so I think they should be pushing for promotion this season. So yeah, like you said, next season they could meet, but I think this season Derby are going to do them 1-0.
Next up is the Battle of the Uniteds. It's Sheffield United versus Carlisle United. Now, Sheffield United obviously qualify for this as they finished bottom of the Premier League and now they're in the Football League again. They're going up against League Two Carlisle United, and they've got to be the favourites, even if they do put out a weak team. I'm going to go for Sheffield United to win this game 2-0.
I'm going to go for an upset here. I think Sheffield United are going to go really weak, and I think Carlisle are going to do them 2-1.
2-1 to Carlisle? No way. Yeah. Oh, the Sheffield United fans will not be happy with that.
Give me some stick for that.
Next up then is Birmingham City versus Colchester United. Now, another matchup where it really does depend how strong Birmingham City go for this. I mean, Birmingham City, you know, they won this competition 10 years ago, and who knows what will happen in this game. I think Colchester United could give them a good game. Really hard to predict. Birmingham City 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1. I think there's going to be goals from both teams. I think they're both going to go for it. But I think, yeah, Birmingham have just got the better squad. Even if it's a weaker squad, I think they're still going to have the better squad. So, yeah, I'm going to predict a win. But I think 2-1, so
yeah,
not an embarrassment.
No. Next up is an all-championship affair between Reading and Swansea City. Now, these two both finished at the top end of the championship last year. Reading in 7th. I think Swansea finished 4th or 5th. And yeah, it's an interesting matchup. Once again, it's a matter of who puts out the stronger team. I think both teams should be having pretty good seasons in the championship if last year's anything to go by. But for this game, I'm going to go Reading 1, Swansea City 2.
Yeah, I think Swansea are going to be the favourites for this one. But I'm going to back Reading win. I'm going to say the reverse of what you said, 2-1 to Reading. I think it's going to be a good game. 2-1
to Reading. Another all-championship affair is between Blackpool Football Club and Middlesbrough Football Club. Now, I'd imagine both teams should be at opposite ends of the table. Middlesbrough should be pushing on towards the top 6, especially under Neil Warnock, and Blackpool probably just going to be happy to survive this year in the championship with it being very competitive, and it's their first season back in it. But it's a cup game, anything could happen, and I'm going to back Blackpool for this one. 1-0.
Okay, I think, yeah, Middlesbrough are going to be the favourites going into it. I think they're going to put out a weaker squad, but I still think Middlesbrough are going to edge this one. I think it's going to be fairly tight, but a Middlesbrough 1-0 for me.
Middlesbrough 1-0. Next up, Nottingham Forest take on Bradford City. Now, once again, Championship versus League Two, but if you put out a weak team, anything can happen, and Bradford City, they did really well in this competition before. I think it was 2013. They got to the final as a League Two team, which was mad. Nottingham Forest, they're obviously a decent team. They've brought in some decent players, but how strong will they go for this game? We don't know. I'm going to back Forest to win this game still. 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to back a Forest win as well. I think it's going to be 2-0, so not as many goals, but not far off what you've said. I think, yeah, they're going to go for it and they're going to show their quality, so 2-0.
2-0. And last up, we're going to talk about a London derby between Leyton Orient and Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers are one of my favourites to do something in the championship, maybe a bit of a dark horse. They've had some great signings, Johansson, Charlie Austin, Sam McCallum, some decent players there. And Leyton Orient, they might put up a fight in this game, but I'm going to go for Leyton Orient 1, Queen's Park Rangers 3.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 QPR as well. I think, as you said, QPR have got to be people's dark horses for the championship this season. They've had some great business. I think I predicted them to finish 8th overall in our predictions video, but to be honest, I could picture them finishing a little bit higher because there have been a few more signings since that video. We'll see, but I think they're going to get off to their season on the right foot, and it's going to be a 3-1 win. 3-1,
just like me. There's plenty of other games going on over the next couple of weeks in the first round of the League Cup, so this is our predictions for all of them. As you can see, there's some pretty interesting matchups there between the League 2 teams, League 1 teams and Championship teams, so there is our predictions from both me and Sophie. We'll see who got more right when we come to our League Cup Round 2 predictions. Guys, let me know your predictions down in the comments for these games. There's plenty of games going on, and make sure you've hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.